What's going on, NBA fans? My name is UnrealEntGaming and welcome to NBA 2K14 here today, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 1997 Chicago Bulls versus the 2013 Miami Heat. Now, obviously, guys, we're going to get right into Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Now, this is pretty much the debate of all debates. Now, people always want to wonder, who would win in a one-on-one basketball game, LeBron James or Michael Jordan? Well, when you compare stats, obviously, rings don't have to do with anything, but just to bring up some, obvious statistics for both Jordan and LeBron James, the statistics go as follows. You have Michael Jordan, who is a 6-time NBA championship winner, as opposed to LeBron James, who only bears 2 rings. Michael Jordan has had about, I believe, 15 NBA seasons, whereas opposed to LeBron James only had 11. Now, in terms of seasons, of course, I do believe LeBron James is going to surpass him in that little aspect. But moving on forward, LeBron James bearing 10 NBA All-Star games, while Michael Jordan bearing 14. NBA playoff plays, which was LeBron James holding 9 playoffs as opposed to Michael Jordan holding 13. So in terms of NBA championships and seasons, we already know that Michael Jordan takes the cake on that one. In terms of honors and rewards as well, same thing. Michael Jordan being a 5-time season MVP player, as opposed to LeBron James bearing 4. The Finals MVP player, LeBron James holding only 2. Michael Jordan holding 6. Now, for those of you out there that are wondering why is this, relatively important, well, that just goes to show how the individual is when it comes to playing a season of basketball or just being on the team as a whole. Now, in terms of having a one-on-one game, obviously at this point we can all agree that yes, LeBron James is much bigger than Michael Jordan, which means it would be very, very hard for Michael Jordan to try to combat LeBron James's defense, because LeBron James is 6'8", 270 pounds, 280 pounds. The dude's a big dude, So it's obvious, it's common sense. How else are you supposed to block someone who's 6'8", 270 pounds? That's just incredible, you know what I mean? In terms of, the regular NBA, regular season stats, Michael Jordan averaged in about 30 points per game, whereas opposed to LeBron James, I believe, averaged in about 26. Rebounds per game, LeBron James does take that with 8, as opposed to Michael Jordan having 7, I believe, or 6. I don't really remember that too vividly. But that just goes to show points per game. Who lands the most points, Michael Jordan or LeBron James? Now, points are very credible, because how else are you going to win a basketball game? You know what I mean? Both players being very overhyped. I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan. LeBron James, I would be a fan of if everybody would stop giving him all of the credit as being the best player in the NBA. I don't believe that he is the best player on the NBA. You guys have to really take that into consideration. Is he the most skilled? Probably. But is he the best? I don't think so. If you just look at every single team, there has to be at least one other person that is better than LeBron James in terms of that aspect. Now, having the 2013 Miami Heat collide with the 1997 Chicago Bulls, that would be the game of the century. You had Scottie Pippen. On the other hand, you had Dwayne Wade. You had, what's his name? Dennis Rodman on the Bulls. You had Ray Allen. That would be a very, very interesting basketball game, because Miami Heat is a very, very aggressive team. Now, I'm not doubting Miami Heat. They are a very impressive team. Are they the best team in the league right now? That could be debatable. I want to hear your thoughts before I get into anything else on what you guys think and who do you guys think is the best team in the NBA today, along with who do you guys think is the best NBA player on the roster today. Do you actually believe it's LeBron James? Do you guys think it's Derrick Rose? Do you guys think it's Kobe Bryant? Let me know in the comment section below. But going back to this, LeBron James versus Michael Jordan, Miami Heat versus the Chicago Bulls, I think we can all agree at this point that if you just look at overall team statistics, I believe, in my humble opinion, that the 1997 Bulls work better as a team as opposed to the 2012, 11, and 13 Miami Heat. I'm not trying to say that, Miami Heat is not a good team. Miami Heat's a great team. I just feel like they're a little overhyped. Now, people might, go on and say, oh, if it wasn't for Scottie Pippen, Jordan would never have gotten the attributes that he would have gotten, of course. I mean, but you also have to take into consideration that Michael Jordan's not a scrub. You know, I'm pretty sure he could have, you know, made it without Scottie Pippen in an aspect, you know. So many people might disagree. So many people might say, well, there are better players out there living and walking the court today. You know, I've actually had several people talk about how Vince Carter or Stephen Curry or Tim Duncan or Kevin Durant might be better than LeBron James, you know, as opposed to Michael Jordan. Same thing. People are talking about how, you know, Blake Griffin might be better, or Allen Iverson, or, you know, stuff like that, Jason Kidd. And it's really interesting because people say that, but then, you know, ultimately when it boils down and you watch the old school Michael Jordan games, they were absolutely phenomenal. I mean, that's just, you can't take that away. And as you guys can see right now, Miami Heat 8, Chicago Bulls 16, and I mean, this would be such an aggressive game as well. I mean, I would pay so much money to see this game, because this is like the Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather of NBA. You know, you have Michael Jordan colliding with LeBron James. You have Dwayne Wade colliding with Scottie Pippen. You would have had Dennis Rodman collide with Bosh. It would be such a great mix-up, you know what I mean? Aggressiveness and skill. And, I mean, just, it would be a back-and-forth thing. But in the end, which team would win? In my humble opinion, I do believe that in the end, somehow, someway, the 97 Bulls would come out the victors. Because, to me, like I said, I feel like they focus more and they work better as a team than Miami Heat. Miami Heat is a very good coordinated team that works together. But sometimes egos collide. Sometimes, you know, pride may get in the way. And people want to be better than Michael Jordan. When you watch basketball, what do you think of initially? You think of Michael fucking Jordan, you know? That guy was a monster. Now, some people are going to be like, well, Michael Jordan's overhyped. I mean, he's really not. The guy came from nothing, and he played as if, you know, he wasn't going to live the next day. The guy was an absolute freak on the court, you know what I mean? So, all respect to him, but at the same time, I wouldn't count Miami Heat out the picture either, because I believe that Miami Heat would bring it. But in the end, I believe the Chicago Bulls would win. Now, if you guys are Miami Heat fans, I want to know why you believe that maybe Miami would win. Or if you guys are Bull fans, I want to know why do you feel like the 97 Bulls would win. It's a very interesting conversation because, you know, things can go back and forth between the two. Like I said, LeBron James having less steals than Michael Jordan. LeBron James having less blocks than LeBron. I mean, Michael Jordan pretty much holds the stats right now. I think the only thing they're tied in between Michael Jordan and LeBron James are blocks, really. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron James took that, because LeBron James is a huge fucking dude, you know what I mean? So having to get blocked by LeBron James would not be anything new, because the dude's huge. How else are you supposed to just cross him, you know what I mean? But yeah, I believe that Michael Jordan is, and I truly mean this, I believe Michael Jordan is the greatest player that ever graced the NBA court, because the dude is actually very, very, you know, reliant on his team, and he's very, very skilled. When it comes down to push and shove, the guy can bring it. So, I mean, you can't really count him out for that. But like I said, in terms of percentages and statistics, Michael Jordan holds that over LeBron James. You guys can't really refute that. You know, in terms of playoff statistics, yeah, LeBron James may have more rebounds and he may have more assists. But in the end, you know, in terms of steals, points, blocks, you know, everything else, you know, I firmly believe Michael Jordan would top that. I mean, especially when it comes down to points per game. Who's willing to die harder on the court, you know what I mean? I believe in the long run, Michael Jordan scored about 32,000 points. LeBron James is only scoring about 22,000 in his early career. Now, can LeBron James score at least 11,000 more points by the end of his career to topple Michael Jordan? That's the question. I mean, would he be able to do that, you know? Honestly, I don't think it's impossible, because he's young. You know, LeBron James is very young, and he has that willpower to keep on going. Although I believe he's very overhyped. The hype pretty much came about when he faced Dirk Nowitzki and his team. You know, Dirk pretty much, oh my God, schooled the shit out of him, you know? And granted, Dirk is a giant motherfucker. I mean, he could play, you know? But same thing, I mean, just everything boils down to statistics and teams and seasons and just, I mean, who wants it more in a sense? And, I mean, at the time, nobody wanted it more than Michael Jordan. I mean, the guy would go out there and he would slaughter himself. Now, in terms of this game, the Miami Heat versus the 97 Bulls would come down to strategic strategy. I mean, holding off Pippen, especially Jordan, not allowing him to even come close to the rim. I believe LeBron James would be guarding Michael Jordan. I mean, I just feel like that's what I believe that's what it would come down to is LeBron James being guarded by Michael, and Michael being guarded by LeBron. You know, I believe those two, their egos would collide in the center of that court, you know. But as you guys can see right now, Miami's losing, you know, almost by a half ton. I mean, they're losing by about, you know, it's 35-14 pretty much in the second quarter with only 4 minutes to go. And I believe it would not end up this way, honestly. I don't believe Miami would be down by half. I believe Miami would be down by like maybe a few points, but I think they would gain the lead at some point and then obviously get overtaken. But in the end, it's like I said, I mean, you have Dennis Rodman, you had Harper, you had Chalmers, you had James, you know, you had all these fucking guys, and it would be a war zone in the middle of that court. I mean, there's no way for us to see it now, obviously. I mean, times have changed and times have passed and people grow old. And but I mean, it would be such a great, you know, contest, a great match to see, because you don't really know. I mean, you don't really know who would win. In the end, I do believe that, like I said, Chicago Bulls would reign up top, but Miami would bring it aggressively. You know, you can't really count them out. I mean, just because they have Jordan and Pippen doesn't mean Miami Heat's going to be coming in, you know, soft as flowers. I believe they're going to be coming in with like a force of 1,000 fucking rhinos, you know what I mean? But, I mean, I want to hear your thoughts and your opinions on this game. I mean, who do you guys think would be the MVP of this here game? Who do you guys think would have the most assists, the most blocks, and who do you think would be scoring the most points on their respective team? Now, I would say LeBron would be scoring the most on his team, but then again, Dwayne Wade is very good. You can't count out Wade, because Wade is just, whoa, wow, that guy is phenomenal. Is he better than LeBron James is the question. Is Dwayne Wade better than LeBron James? That is a very interesting debate. I mean, the same thing can be said about Scottie Pippen versus, you know, Michael Jordan. You know, which player is better, you know? Some people might, you know, refute that and say, well, Michael's better by a landslide. And other people might say, oh, no, there's no way. Scottie Pippen was the one that was scoring the most points, so therefore Scottie's better, you know? It always comes back to push or shove. So I want to hear your thoughts and your opinions on the best player on each team. Who do you guys think would win and why? I mean, like I said, it's very interesting. But as you guys can see, it's coordination. It all boils down to coordination. Some people might watch this and be like, well, this guy, there's no way, you know, LeBron James would be able to lose to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan will lose to LeBron James. You know, some people are actually going to sit here and say that. And yeah, I mean, some people also might say, well, you know, LeBron James isn't as overhyped as Michael Jordan. I mean, really now? If you think about that, who is more overhyped for the better reason? Do you guys think LeBron James is more overhyped than Michael Jordan, or do you guys think Michael Jordan is more overhyped than LeBron James? So even if the case is given, why do you think that player is overhyped? Why do you guys think Michael Jordan is overhyped? Is it because he's that damn good? I mean, what player in the division today or in the last 10 years would come close to Michael Jordan? What, Kobe Bryant? Even Michael Jordan himself said it, that if anybody were to come close to Michael Jordan's prime, it would have been Kobe Bryant. Now, not many people are fans of Kobe Bryant. People want to talk about how he's a ball hog. Yeah, he is a ball hog, and that's because he wants to be Jordan. I mean, he's a huge mark of Jordan. He wants to be Jordan. Do you guys remember his heydays? Do you guys remember when he used to just dunk with his tongue out and steal all of Jordan's moves? He stole all of Jordan's moves. I mean, literally. Do you guys remember that? I certainly do. I remember watching those games back in the day, and I was like, wait a minute, that's what Michael Jordan used to do. Why is he doing it? So, you know, do you really blame somebody like Kobe Bryant that tries to be better? No. Do you blame somebody like LeBron James who tries to be better? No. Do you blame somebody like Dwayne Wade who wants to be better? No, because everybody wants to be better and break a record for once. You know, records are made to be broken. I'm pretty sure later on down the road, somebody somewhere at some given point is going to break, you know, Michael Jordan's record. Is it going to be LeBron James? We don't know. Is it going to be, you know, Derrick Rose? We don't know. Is it going to be, you know, Carmelo Anthony, we don't know. Is it going to be Larry Bird, Chris Bosh, Vince Carter? Who is it going to be? You know, is it going to be Dwight Howard, Blake Griffin, Paul Gasol, Kevin Durant, Jason Kidd? You know, who is going to be the one to break the record, you know? It just boils down. There's so many things and so many players. You know, you got Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, Yao Ming, you have Reggie Miller, George, you have Karl Moreau. It's just, oh my God, the list of players, and they're not crappy players. They're good players. You know, I mean, you have just Jesus Christ. You know, like some players obviously can't come back, like Magic Johnson and stuff like that. But just looking at today's roster, it's like, do you really believe somebody in our generation may break Michael Jordan's record? Who knows? You know, it might be LeBron James. It just might be LeBron James. Honest to God, it might be LeBron James. Or it might be Kobe Bryant one day if his team decides to get their shit together. Or it actually might be someone else. You know, you don't really know. You can't really say, because eventually, I mean, just look at all these new and upcoming basketball players coming up, you know, from the NCAA division. You know, these kids are nasty. You know, like, some of these kids are better than the actual mainstream pro basketball players, you know? And that's because they're hungry, and that's what Michael Jordan had within him, was hunger. Michael Jordan wanted to be the best because he wanted that strive. He had that ambition to be the best, and that's why he took no prisoners. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I mean, LeBron James also had that hunger at one point, but now he's getting a little too comfortable. And if you watch his games now, yeah, he goes hard, but is he going as hard as he should? You know what I mean? Like I said, it all boils down to certain things, and I really wish that one day we were to have that ultimate, you know, match of matches where you have you know, two of the best teams ever. I mean, as of right now, especially with the situation going on with the Clippers and, you know, just racism running around, and then players just not having their heart in the game anymore. You know, some things are rigged. Yes, believe it or not, people are actually talking about how certain games are rigged, you know. And at the end of the day, do you really think the NBA cares about your opinion? No, not really. They care about making history. They care about making their own history. They care about money, and that's what it ultimately boils down to. Now, I mean, it's a give or take situation. Whether or not we're gonna see a game of such caliber one day, I mean, who knows? When OKC faced off against Miami, a lot of people were excited, but not so many were, because they were just like, oh, these guys are just a bunch of young cats going against veterans. Well, yeah, you guys have to remember, some of these young cats are better than some of these old-time players. You know, am I saying LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan? No. But I'm just saying it's possible. It's possible that one day LeBron James could be better than Michael Jordan if he puts his damn heart into it. If the dude is actually as hungry as Jordan was. Just like I said, guys, please go back, watch the 97, 96, 98, 99 Chicago's Bulls game. Go watch those games. You will be mind fucked. I mean, you think the games going on today was crazy. I mean, back in the day, they used to fight on the fucking court. You know, they used to kill each other. I mean, just go watch some of the Chicago Bulls games. They were absolutely amazing. And the same thing can be said about the old school, you know, Miami Heat, like the '88. You know, I mean, and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not trying to say that like the team today is soft or nothing, but back in the day, teams were aggressive, players were aggressive. I mean, they were hungry because they wanted that championship. They were hungry because they wanted it. You know what I mean? And today it's just like, well, you're on the court, you're playing, you get the money, and that's it. You bounce. Like, how much is LeBron James making? Like $70 million per year? That's a fucking lot of money, man. That's wow. I mean, shit, if I was making that kind of money on the NBA, I would fucking bust my ass. Do you want to know why? Is because I would be looking at a record. I would be looking at a record like Michael Jordan. I would be like, you know what? As a player, I want to fucking break that shit because I know I'm that good. I'm worth $70 million. Let's see if I can put in that extra 11,000 points. Let's see if I can earn another 4 rings so I can topple that. You know what I mean? So it is what it is at this point. But just looking at this game right now, it's 48-29 at the third quarter. 3 minutes and 52 seconds. I mean, just all sorts of shit has happened if you guys are watching this far. I mean, this game is crazy right now, and this is for the PS4. This is NBA 2K14. 2K15 will be coming out this year. Can't wait for that. But I mean, I've always been a basketball fan, but sometimes you just lose track, you lose focus, you just lose interest because some players aren't doing as good as you would hope, or some teams aren't doing as good as you hope. Like, for example, the New York Knicks. At one point, they were fucking beasting it, and then they just fell off the face of the planet. You know, their defense was horrible. Melo was the only one putting in work. And it's sad, you know what I mean? Same thing with, I believe it was the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, they were doing good at one point and they fell off. Same thing with OKC. They were doing good at one point and they fell off. You know, everybody falls off. But overall, guys, I want to hear your full take on this game. I want to hear your full take on both of these teams, both of the players, and why. I mean, I could be wrong, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be surprised. But remember, it all boils down to opinion. I want to hear your opinions. You guys are already hearing my opinion, and you heard some statistic reports. But like I said, I mean, boiling this down to just these two teams, it would be fucking phenomenal. And right now, the game is getting intense because Dwayne Wade's fucking shooting around. You got Pippen taking the ball. Pippen's a monster. If you guys don't know who he is, because there's a lot of young kids watching NBA today, and they don't tend to go back and watch the old school stuff. The old school stuff is what makes, you know, the new school stuff look like nothing, you know what I mean? And like I said, that's because in the old school days, people were just freaking pouring their hearts out into the game because they wanted to be the best in the world. They wanted to be that damn good. And for me personally, if you got these two teams together, I swear to God, I believe the Bulls will win. Now, my friend Paul, on the other hand, the COD Brothers Gaming, I do believe he would differ with me, just like my friend Stefan. I believe my friend Stefan from Space Age Gaming. In case you guys don't know who he is, go check him out, Space Age Gaming. I do believe that he might differ with me. I do believe that he might say Miami would win because he is a Miami fan. He is a LeBron James fan. He's also a Michael Jordan fan, yes. But I want to hear his take. I want to hear all of your takes on this because LeBron James is a bigger specimen. He's much bigger than Michael Jordan, which poses a threat. Now, is he quicker than Jordan? Can he jump higher than Jordan? You know, I mean, who knows? But, you know, like, one day I would love to see something like this go down. If they're going to have holograms or something, play it off. I mean, that would be amazing. Just like the Tupac hologram they had, why not have an NBA showdown, you know what I mean? I mean, it would be awesome, but like I said, I would mostly want to see LeBron James versus Michael Jordan. Also, my friend Paul is also a huge fan of LeBron James. He believes that LeBron James is the best player in the NBA today. Paul, if you're watching this, how can LeBron James be the best player today? I don't understand. I mean, there are people out there with better statistics, with better overall skill, and they're not hailed as anything, you know what I mean? So what makes LeBron James that special is the question. I'm not trying to knock the dude for his skill. I believe LeBron James is a sellout. I don't believe that he's a bum. There's a difference. When you sell out, I mean, obviously everybody knows what happened with Cleveland. The guy has skill. I mean, LeBron James has amazing skill, but he's a sellout. A lot of people might disagree and say, well, how is he a sellout? Well, if it wasn't for Miami, would he still have a ring with Cleveland, is the question. Would he have been a bigger legend on Cleveland than as opposed to Miami Heat? Yes, because even if the guy didn't win any rings at all, he would still be remembered as one of the best players ever to grace Cleveland, you know? But here's the thing, it's like ultimately sometimes you do have to make certain business decisions. Does LeBron James regret it? Probably not. I mean, the team did get him 2 rings, so he's living the high life right now, making 70 mil. But like I said, I mean, I believe he's a sellout. I don't believe he's a bad player. I believe he's a very good player, but I believe he's a sellout. I mean, you just have to look at it from a certain standpoint sometimes. And just, I am not a hardcore NBA fan, not even in the least, because I know people out there that will school me in NBA, you know what I mean? I'm just going based on what I know and what I see, and if you go back and you watch some of the old stuff, it actually brings back a lot, you know? It's just like, whoa, you know what I mean? So I don't know, to me personally, it is what it is, you know? You can't really compare sometimes, but LeBron James, to me, I believe is is a sellout. I mean, I don't think he's a bad player. I just think he's a sellout. I mean, I really don't see how a lot of people, you know, don't want to compare him to that. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, sometimes, like I said, a person who isn't a sellout is somebody like Kobe Bryant. Is he good? Yes, but he's a ball hog. Remember, Kobe Bryant has 5 rings. Michael Jordan has, you know, 6. Kobe Bryant has more NBA seasons than Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant has more NBA playoffs than Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant has more NBA All-Star games than Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Like, the dude passes Michael Jordan. So, you know, that just goes to show, like, hey, there are people out there better than LeBron James in a sense, you know what I mean? Although, granted, Kobe Bryant's been doing this longer, like I said, I mean, it all boils down to give or take, you know? The same thing can be said about Kobe Bryant versus LeBron James. Who would win in that competition? So, I don't know, man. This all boils down to a certain science, you know what I mean, guys? Michael Jordan holds the record, and will somebody come along one day to break the damn record? I believe it will. I mean, I really don't see how it wouldn't, because I do believe that somewhere along the lines, someone out there is going to shatter that, but that's why I want to know your thoughts and your opinions. So, thank you all for watching, everybody. My name is UnrealEntGaming. If you guys are NBA fans, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for all latest news, information, and updates. If you guys enjoyed the video, if you guys like what I said, if you guys enjoyed the video as you guys can see right now, please don't forget to hit this video up with a like and a favorite. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. I want to hear your full analysis on this, especially those of you out there that are real NBA fans, like hardcore NBA fans. I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your thoughts, because your thoughts is what make the community. So thank you all for watching, everybody. More NBA videos are coming up. So also, guys, let me know in the comment section below on some of the what if basketball games you guys want to see, and I'll try my best to make it happen. Any team versus any team, let me know in the comment section below, guys. So thank you all for watching once again. It really means a lot to me. Let's just hope that one day we come across a player who's literally indestructible, because that's going to be a very, very interesting time. So thank you all for watching. As always, everybody, stay tuned for more, because there's a lot more headed your way. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys in the next episode. Take care, everybody. Peace.